Hi everybody, Grandad here again. Now I'm doing a little follow-up video, one of my science videos. The last couple of videos I did was on the smelly gas, the hydrogen sulphide. Now when I did that video before, it didn't turn out exactly as it was supposed to. And I tried it again after, and I found that I'd made a few mistakes. Now I've set up the experiment again slightly differently. I'd got some hydrogen sulphide, as I'd said, in a little box already that I'd made, so I won't go over making that again, but I've already got the pellets, a little gravel in here of hydrogen sulphide. Now what I've done this time, I've set up this little piece of apparatus here which I want to show you, and what it is two little containers here. And this one's actually plastic, and it doesn't matter about this being plastic, and it's actually out of a toy. It's a child's toy really, but it works quite well for this particular experiment. And what I've done, I've put distilled water in both of these containers. Move them a little, yeah, you can see them there. Both of these containers. And what I've done in this one, I've got a pipe coming out going over into this one, and I blocked the other piece up with a pencil because there's two holes in it. Now what I've put into there is some of this hydrogen sulphide powder. I've put it into there and got it to react with the water. Now as you can see, this is really dirty, which was the problem I had before, because my hydrogen sulphide in the water by itself made it really dirty, and that's really green, although the container's green, but it's gone even more green. And what's been happening over the last 20 minutes or so is, as that's been reacting, it's been bubbling through clean water in this jar. Now unfortunately I put a dirty pipette in there. I didn't wash my pipette off, and it's, as you can see, it really is quite dirty. But if you think on, make sure that you don't use a dirty pipette for this job. Now as you can see, I'm not wearing my safety gear. I've got my overalls on, but I haven't got gloves on or a mask. And that's because this particular experiment isn't really very dangerous. I mean, none of these chemicals getting on your hands are going to do anything. Actually smelling the gas is the danger, and I haven't got a gas mask, so I can't wear that. But the concentrations that are involved in this particular experiment, although they're smelly, it's not dangerous. Hydrogen sulphide as itself, as you know, is very dangerous. But what you want to do is make sure you wash your pipette off, because what I did, I put it into this jar of clean water, or it was really clean, and it's dirtied it a little bit, but I'm hoping it's not going to spoil the test. Now then, in the original experiment in my science book, as I had with my chemistry set, it said that you should dip a little bit of blotting paper, which I've got here, to act like litmus paper, but you should dip that in a little bit of copper sulphate. Now I've got a little bit of copper sulphate here, and as you can see, this is a green liquid. I hope you can see that on camera. That's a pale green liquid. Now if I dip that in, just to get a little bit on the little bit of blotting paper there, and hold it in the gas. I'll just try it in this one because it is making gas, and I'm hoping we can see that when I put it into this container where the gas is bubbling over, even though the gas is being dissolved into the liquid, it still turned that paper black. I don't know if you can see that, but that's gone really quite black. Now if I was to pull this off, which I don't know whether I'm going to be able to without making a big mess. No, I don't think so. That's in there too tight. I don't think I can get that off easily. It is coming very slowly. If I take that off there and I get another one, in that container it should be even more concentrated. So if I get another little bit of copper sulphate solution on my liquid, and as you can see that, although it may look a little bit blue, it hasn't got anything on it. Now if I put it into the mouth of this jar, which contains hydrogen sulphide gas, and I'm not putting it in the liquid, I'm just putting it into the mouth of the liquid there and waving it about, it's still not touched the liquid, but as you can see, that's gone quite black. Now that's a test for hydrogen sulphide using copper sulphate. Now the next experiment showed that if you get some of this solution, which now the gas has come out of here and gone over and it's dissolved into this liquid, and it's just ordinary distilled water. It's bubbled over. It's stopped bubbling now because the reaction is actually finished. There's a little bit of bubbles, but not much coming over. So hopefully this has got now full of hydrogen sulphide gas in this liquid. So if I clean off my little pipette here and I get a little bit of this liquid, which is clear, got a pipette full there, and I hold it as close as I can to the camera. As I put this in, you should see a dramatic change. And there it is. Turned absolutely black. I'll put that back in there because I don't want that to get dirty anything. But you can see there that copper sulphate has now turned absolutely black with that particulate. Now then, the other experiment, which didn't work so well the first time, and I'm hoping it's going to work this time because I haven't tried it. I did try the copper sulphate just to make sure that there was hydrogen sulphide in this water, and that's why it got black. I dirtied my liquid a little bit, but it's still fairly clean, so I'm hoping it's not going to do any effect. Now this is the chloride copper. Oh, wait a minute, I mustn't panic. It's I can't remember what this is called now. Anyway, it's the other liquid that I used. You'll have to remember from my other videos. It may come to me in a minute. But this is pink. Now, they say that when you put hydrogen sulphide into this this particular liquid, which I can't remember the name of for the life of me, it's the trouble with getting old, you forget things, that there shouldn't be a reaction. So we'll just test it and see. Let's hope this works. I'll suck a little bit up as well. Suck a little bit more up. I don't think I got enough there. Suck a little bit up. Now I'll get close to where you are. Now I'll put this in, and hopefully we can see that there hasn't been a reaction. Get a little bit more. Now that's what should have happened before. Nothing has happened. Not really any difference at all in that. May have darkened it a little bit, but that might be because I put a little bit of dark liquid. But that really hasn't turned to any black, a substantial black liquid. It's still pretty pink. Now, it says, because this process produces a little bit of acid, I think it's sulfuric acid, I'm not quite sure, but I think it's sulfuric acid. Now if I put some ammonia in with this liquid, which is a clear household ammonia, there's no other additives, this should then neutralize the acid and turn my liquid black. Let's see if it does. And there we go. Putting a little bit of ammonia in there has completely turned my liquid absolutely black. And the black particles have now formed. Now, unfortunately, in the experiment, it didn't tell you what these black particles are. Now, if anyone knows what doing this reaction does, because these particles will sink to the bottom and separate from the liquid that I started with, which I can't remember the name of, but I said it earlier on one of the other videos, so you can look back at that and you'll know exactly what this pink material was. It's turned black, and the particles will sink to the bottom as I let it stand. So if you know what that is, let me know. But I was just wanting to make sure that this video, or this series of videos as it turned out, I have solved some of the problems with my video uploading, but this now has actually worked in the way that it was supposed to when I first did the video. As I say, I've got my hydrogen sulphide and I've bubbled it through into what should have been clear water, but as you can, I don't know whether you can see on camera, but that water now is a little bit dirty, and that's my fault. It was clean and absolutely clear. When you bubble it through into that liquid, it's absolutely clear. There's no contamination at all. And it was only because I used this bubbler, this little pipette is dirty, and I've got to try and wash this, but there was some liquid inside it, and when I went to push it in there, it contaminated that liquid a little bit and spoilt it. But I hadn't got time to do any more, because that now is hydrogen sulphide, which I'm going to put into a bottle. And so that worked. It didn't change colour when I put it into the I still can't remember the name of that stuff. But if you look on the videos, the previous ones, you'll see what it actually is. I mentioned what it was there, but I can't just bring it to mind now. But that concludes this particular smelly gas videos. And I'm hoping that's clarified everything and that you understood what was going on. So I'll break off now and say hopefully this has been successful. And until we meet again on the next video, I'll say goodbye. Bye-bye now. Bye.